Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Fun Fold Friday. I'm Doreen DeCebus from It Begins with Ink and Paper, and I'm so happy to have you join me during the live tonight, or or if you're watching for the replay. Either way, I think it's awesome that you're joining me. So let me just move a couple things to get everything in view so everyone will see what we're doing tonight. So tonight I was actually going to do a Halloween card tonight. And then last weekend I attended an online event and it was so much fun. And we made this really cool fun fold that's also a gift card holder, which this time of year with Christmas coming up and Thanksgiving, we often need something to put in a gift card. So that's what we're going to do tonight instead. So we are going to use the Christmas Scotty bundle. And I love this bundle. I love these little dogs. I don't have a Scotty. I don't know anyone has a Scotty, but I really do love this set. I made some swaps with it, and I've just been stamping lots of cute things with it. So that's going to continue, I hope, with tonight. So this is a photopolymer stamp set, and the bundle includes the punch. And the punch has one of the Scotties, this one here, and one of the bows. And so that is where we stand. So for cardstock, we are going to need some scraps of basic white, so I have those right here to do some stamping on. Then we're going to need a piece of Garden Green cardstock that I'm using tonight, and it measures 4 1/4 by 9 inches, and it's scored at 3 inches and 6 inches. And this is going to be the front of our card, and it's also going to make our gift card holder. For the base of our card, you're going to need a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of Garden Green. And you're going to want to put a piece of Designer Series paper over that. And I am using this beautiful print from the Cottage Wreath suite. It has, two different checkered patterns, and I like this one here, so I'm going to use this bigger one. And then I'm going to use another piece of this, from the same package, but in the real red shade. And you can see it has the similar larger print and smaller print. We're going to use the smaller print of this. And this is 4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And then we're going to need something to decorate the inside of this fold. And I have one piece of basic white cardstock that's 4 by 2 3/4 inches, and one that's 4 by 2. This one's going to hold the gift card holder, and this one we're going to decorate. So let me just put that aside, and we're going to start some stamping and some punching. So let's see what I want to do first. All right, I think I'm going to stamp my Scotty. So he is over here, and I'm going to use basic black ink. Now, if you want the best coverage for this, and probably the easiest coverage, you probably want to use your Stamparatus. I found when I was making my swaps, I actually was making them when I was at my dad's house in Florida. And he loved the stamp set. And so that's another reason, since, as many of you know, I lost my dad about 2 months ago in August, and I just cherish all of my memories with him. But he was amazed how I could, if I didn't get good coverage, how I could just stamp right back over it. And I'll probably have to show you that tonight. So let's see how this works. So I'm going to ink this up really well. And let me see. Yeah, I'm just going to keep inking it. I want a really dark coverage. And I'm going to actually stamp off, because I find sometimes, well, that wasn't too bad. I find sometimes that once you've inked it once, then your second inking goes a little better. So let me ink this up. And I'm going to stamp him on my basic white cardstock. He's such a cutie. Hold it down, let all the ink transfer, And you can see I've got a couple spots here that didn't quite get covered. So let's see how well I can do on camera of stamping over. What I like about this stamp in particular is that, well, first, because it's a photopolymer stamp, it's really easy to line up. But second, it has a couple places, like I really work on lining up that collar. So let's go down and try a second stamp on it. And look how much better that is. It's just so dark and clear, and it's just easy to do. So I'm going to start by punching that out. Now, some people will make a template and try to punch the bow at the same time, but I'm not going to do that. I'll just save my white bow for another time. So I'm just going to line this up, give it a punch, and there I have my beautiful Scotty. So I'm going to take my other piece of paper. I'm not going to use as big as, well, that's the wrong one. And I'm going to get my Garden Green stamp ink pad. And I am going to stamp the bow. And then we'll punch that. So that looks really nice. So I'm just going to close that so we don't get any handprints in it. And I'm going to use the punch again to punch out the bow. Now I could have just used Garden Green cardstock if I wanted and just have that, but I want it to have this. So I'm going to be attaching that bow right to where the collar is on the Scotty dog. So I'm going to do that with a glue dot. Like I said, it's such a fun little set. Well, I don't know where all of you live, so I hope if you're watching, you say hello in the comments and that you tell me where you're from. In New England this week, it has definitely been a week of fall. We're definitely feeling that. Now, let me see where I just moved my black dots. Well, I don't see where I moved them, so I'll grab them in a second. Okay, we're going to set this aside. So now we have these two pieces. And like I said, one of the pieces is for the gift card holder and one is for just to decorate. So I'm going to start with this little guy, and we're going to be putting him right here. And so I'm going to ink him up. I have not used this stamp before. So hopefully he'll get nice and dark. If he doesn't, we will try to stamp him a second time, like we did before. And there are some dots that I wanted. Okay, well, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna stamp off first, get some ink on him, so that we can hopefully get a nice dark image. But like I said before, using your Stamparatus would be a really good bet with this. So I know this first time I'm not going to get what I want. I've got too much light over here, so I'm going to stamp it a second time. I'm embarrassed to admit that I still have some of my stamping supplies packed, and my Stamparatus is one of them, so that's why I'm trying it this way, to get really good coverage. So let's line him up and go down. Oh, that looks so much better. Perfect. And I am just going to add a couple of, we have a cute little wolf in here, so I'll use some Garden Green ink for that. And I'm just going to stamp a couple of those here. And then the other thing I want to add to make it a little wintry is I'm going to add some snowflakes, and I'm going to do that in Balmy Blue. Perfect. And I'll add a little bit up here by his head. So there's our gift part holder all stamped. So I'm going to set that aside. And now for this next part, I am also going to add some snowflakes. So since I have that out, let's do that right now. There we go. And we'll close that ink pad. And this time I am going to use, where is he? I can tell I am just not super ready. I just had my little doggy. He's right here. Okay, so this is another one. He's going to come right here on our card. And again, I haven't used this one, so I'm going to just ink it up really well. And I'll stamp him here first, and then try again. Get a good coverage of ink on him. And we're going to put him right here. And again, I'm going to want to put a second one. I do love how easy it is to line these up, especially if you use that collar as, as a point to line up. And I use his eye too. There we go. And let me see, there's just one little place that still has a little bit of, I might take my black blend in a minute to fix that, but let's close the black ink because I don't think I need that anymore. And let's finish this card. All right, in green ink, I am going to add May Your Christmas, I'll show you. May your days be furry and bright. So that's going to be our little greeting on this part. And then I'm going to add a collar to him as well. And I'm going to add a collar to the other one too. There we go. And so let's take this little thing here. And we're going to use Real Red ink for this. And then I think all of our stamping will be done. So, on this guy, we're going to put the collar right here. There we go. And on this guy, we are going to have the collar stick out the other way. There we go. So we've got both of those. Let me just move some of these stamps. I'm using a lot of stamps from the set. There we go with that. All right, so now all of our stamping is done, and we've got our other little dog right there. So I'm going to put these ink pads to the side, and let's get out our cardstock. And I'm going to move some of these. Oh, we do have one more stamp to do on my scrap piece of paper. So let's just get that done because we're going to cut it out. And we're going to use the Merry Christmas right on the front of the card. And so let's get our green ink pad back out. There we go. And we'll cut that out in a minute to put that on the front. So I'll just put that right there. Okay, get all those stamps out of the way now. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is add our designer series paper to our card backing, the 5.5 by 4 1/4 inch cardstock, the Garden Green, and I'm going to be adding a piece of the Cottage Wreath Sweet Designer Series paper. This is like a gigantic pack of paper, so it's a really good value. And then this is how this is going to be folding. So the first thing I'm going to do is really make sure we've got some good creases so that it will be as flat as we can get it. So it's going to open so it opens like this. So I'm going to do one more. Okay. So to start with, this is going to go on the front. So this little piece of Real Red Designer Series paper, again, part of the cottage wreath set. And what I'm going to do is take a piece of, which just ties in so nicely, our gingham ribbon, the black and white gingham ribbon, and I'm going to put a piece right behind here, and I'm going to tie that in a bow. So let me just get enough to do that. So the one thing I just want to make sure is that it's flat on both sides, and I want to tie this bow all the way over to the side, and I might even have to move it afterwards. So, as some of you know, this is my least favorite thing to do live, is tie a bow. So I'm going to try to do it without knotting it. Now I'm going to knot it. That's what I always do. Anyway, just to make it easier, so I don't have to hold that in place, and it is way too loose. Okay, let's just start again. See what I mean? If I wasn't live, I wouldn't even dream about making a mistake. But we're just going to move it afterwards. Okay, much better. So I'm just going to move this over to this side, and now I can tie my bow. I hope you've been enjoying the Halloween cards that I've been posting on my Facebook page. I love Halloween, and I've had fun making those. I have a bigger advisory this year at the school I teach, and I tried to, one of the gifts I give them at Halloween is a handmade card. So I've had really a good time making those for my kiddos. So this is going to be the front of our card, as I said, and we're going to add our little friend right here. And I actually am going to move this over just a little bit more because I want to put him over here so I can put my greeting down here, and then we can adjust the ribbon a little bit more. So I'm going to take some dimensionals, and I am actually going to put a dimensional at the top. I'm going to put way up high, and I'm going to then put them way down low so that we can have the ribbon right in between those dimensionals. There we go. Let's get the backings off. And I'm going to place him right here. And then I'm going to cut this with my snips. I'm just going to kind of fussy cut around it. This is an easy sentiment to cut out because it's just the Merry Christmas. So there's not a lot of different words to have to cut out. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to put it up on some dimensionals as well. So let's get... There we go. So this is coming right together. Okay, so this is what the front of our card is going to look like. Now I can adjust this ribbon, this bow, to exactly where I want it to be and how long I want the tails to be. And I think that looks just the way I want it to. Perfect. All right, so now before I put this on the front of my card, we're going to decorate the inside. So this piece is going to go right in here. So I'm just going to use my snail, not my snail, excuse me, my Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to attach this on this end here. And then for this piece, I only want to put a little bit of adhesive all the way around to hold that gift card in place. So the best thing to use for that is my silicone mat, because it's going to let me put a much more narrow piece of adhesive right around the border. And then I want to show you a little hint, and I'm just going to get some of that extra adhesive off so it doesn't show. When you're making a gift card holder like this, it's nice to have a gift card. So here I have a gift card that some students gave to me. And if you put the gift card in where it would be, and then put this around it, it gives it that little bit of lift so that your gift card can easily slide in and out. So it's a little higher than it would be if you just put it in flat. So there's our gift card and what the card's going to look like. So now I am going to really juice this baby up with quite a bit of adhesive, since it is the focal point of our card. And then this is going to go on the front. Let me just center it. And it's going to open like this and have your gift card in it. And then the last thing I wanted to do was just add a little bling to the middle of our bow here. A little black bead. And yep, that looks good. So here's our fun fold for tonight. It's a tri-panel gift card holder. And using the Christmas Scotty bundle. I hope you enjoyed this week's fun fold, and join me next week, though I will not be live next week. I will probably pre-tape. My father's funeral is next Friday in Florida at the National Veterans Cemetery in Bushnell, and so I will be with my family saying our final goodbyes, and so I will either have a tape load in at 6 o'clock, or I'll put a notice on that I wasn't able to do it and that it will be a week away. But if I am here with the tape next week, it will be a Halloween card and fold. So I hope you all have a great week and enjoy. Make sure you say hello in the comments so I know you're watching. Tell me where you're from, and enjoy this week's fun fold. If you make it, please post it in the comments. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.